This video is not scripted, so give me a few seconds to get there, right? But let me start off by saying that I am a hater. I am a hater, absolutely. Let me just be honest about that, right off the bat. And I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing, And there are certain people who say, like, oh, if you're happy with your life, you're not going to be a hater. And I don't think that's the case. I'm a very, very happy person. I haven't accomplished or achieved all of the goals I've set out to achieve. Not yet. But I'm very happy. That means nothing when it comes to me deciding to be a hater. When there's something that is bad, then if I am not the one to hate on that thing, then everybody will accept this thing as being slop, as being good. And there's this mental sickness that can happen to everybody, to the world, when nobody questions something as being good and everybody just goes along with it, where without an opposing side, the entire world begins to think in the singular way. Nobody begins to question, this opposing view to what the general population or what the general consensus is on the thing. So you need haters. The world needs haters. Science is essentially, a bunch of haters. Obviously they do the experiment, then whatever happens, and they make decisions based off of that. But a lot of scientific discovery has been made from spite. The world's not flat. Bet. The world's flat. Bet. I'm gonna prove to you that it isn't. Oh, I can't do this. Bet. I'm gonna prove to you that I can. There's a lot of spite and a lot of scientific advancement. One human wanting to prove to other humans that they can do something and they were right and you were wrong. And that comes from a little place of hate, right? And maybe my emotions and my human emotional system is oversimplified, but I believe that those are intertwined. Anyway, today I want to talk about, and this is related, I promise, the horrible argument, and I just saw it again on this manhwa, that a person made a very good point against it being like as great as other people act like it is. Because if something's great, then it's great. It's great. If something's good, then it's good. Okay, it's good. If something's not good, then something's not good. And if people are hyping up something that's not good to be great or good, then they're lying. They are all lying. And if something is for you and you like it and it's trash, then that's a wonderful thing, but it does not change the fact that that thing is trash, right? It doesn't change the fact that, like, the objective rating system of what makes things good, says that this thing is not good. There are some garbage animes I like. Demon King Damo is one of my favorite animes because I watched it as a child. Rosario plus Vampire, for all the ones who know, I like that anime. I haven't rewatched it since I was 12, but I like that anime because I watched it when I was a kid. That does not mean that either of those are good to any degree, And if people ask me, oh yeah, it's good, I enjoy watching it, it's a high rating for myself. Now, my personal rating, and I always view everything as this, is different from my objective rating. Because in my personal rating, if I were to watch, I don't know, what's a show, some love show, some love reality TV show, right? Then maybe I'll like it, but there's a chance that I also just won't. I just won't like the show, or I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Even if I like it, I understand that it's a slop, so it's a 5 out of 10. But there's also the objective rating of how successful was the director, the crew, the people in the reality TV show at executing upon the idea that they had. And that's ultimately what things come down to. And how good of a story, collectively, without plot holes and problems and things that aren't tied up, loose ends, was a thing at the end of it. And it's hard for people to do this. And the argument that they make, and they go to, oh my gosh, I can't stand this argument. This is what the whole video is about. When you don't like something, or when you can see that something's shit, and they really like it, is, maybe it's not for you. Yeah, if you're looking for tons of action and momentum, then maybe it's not for you. Okay, Vinland Saga Season 2, right? It is not art. It is not the greatest season of anime ever. I didn't cry. My life wasn't changed. And for the vast majority of people who watched, their lives weren't changed either. But there was this collective consensus that there's something deep here. There's something deep to be understood. And another thing that happens when things are slow and supposedly deep is that people equate something being slow with just something being deep. And I won't say that Vinland Saga Season 2 isn't like, it doesn't touch on some elements or some ideas that are pretty deep, right? I won't say that. But when people see something that is slow or something that is badly paced, and they say that, oh man, this is deep, you should have a TikTok attention brain. That is just not the case. It is not that I need a Transformers-esque movie where there's action and explosions every 10 seconds. That's not the case. I attacked the Batman 2022 for being too fast-paced, too much music, too much stimulation for the average viewer, for viewers in general. And I like No Country for Old Men. I like Cosmopolis. I like The Sunset Limited. These movies are extremely slow. But there's also a balance. There has to be a balance. Just because a person has made an entire movie about a boring man who goes to his house and goes home, and there are a few really good cinematic shots, and he takes pictures of flowers, and he's sad, and he says a few wise things, does not mean that that movie is good. So just because something's slow doesn't instantaneously mean that it's deep, or that there's an understanding that the TikTok brain just can't understand. But you get that is just not the case. And if you personally like something that is just slow slop, because there's fast slop and there's slow slop, then congratulations. It's great that you like the thing. For your personal rating, rate it high, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. But there's also the objective rating on whether or not this thing is good, whether or not this thing executes upon its ideas. And like I was saying, for the reality TV show, right, it is a different set of things that I need executed upon for the reality TV show compared to a long form movie that's 2 hours, or a long form TV show that's 3 seasons. There are different things that I'm looking for, right? And for example, an easy thing to attack at the moment. I said I would stop talking about this, but I just can't. I guess it's back. The Boys season 5 and season 4. It just did not effectively execute upon the ideas that it pushed forth and said it was going to execute upon. There was no scorched earth. There were a lot of lies, deception, and it ultimately wasn't what it said it was going to be. If you love The Boys, wonderful. I love The Boys for 3 seasons too. I cannot say that the show is above a 6 out of 10 because 2 of the seasons I will probably never rewatch in my entire life. 2 of the seasons have almost nothing that is worth rewatching. And if you lie to yourself and say that The Boys is a great show despite these last 2 seasons, then you are doing just that. You are lying. And you can't use the excuse, oh gosh, back to the point of the video, you can't just use the excuse of, yeah, it just wasn't for you, man. Yeah, it just wasn't for you. No. No. Okay, my personal rating, sure, it might get an extra 2 points down, but the objective rating too is a 4 out of 10. It's a 5 out of 10, a 6 out of 10. The objective rating for this thing is also shit. It is also trash. It is not good. It did not execute upon any ideas. It did not have a pace that was effective for the message that it was trying to get across. The shots maybe were bad. I don't know. There are a lot of things that go into me personally rating a thing, right? And saying whether or not it's good or whether or not it's bad. And that has nothing to do with what other people are saying or thinking about the season. It has nothing to do with even my personal feelings, because I'll always have an opinionated feeling about what I'm watching. There are certain things that I just like, and there are certain things that I just don't. And I recognize that. But there's also the objective judgment of whether or not this thing executed properly upon its idea, whether or not everything tied up properly, whether or not it was all satisfying collectively, whether or not they effectively either, made everybody unhappy with the ending, but it was a good decision, or they made everybody happy with the ending and it was a good decision. Both of which are possible, right? And both of which can result in a high score or a very low score if they do it poorly for a show. And it's not just because, oh, it's not for you, bro. If it's not for you, that's fine. Oh, it's just not for you, man. It's just not for you. That's such a horrible, stupid, low IQ argument. Of course, yeah, it's not for me, but it's also just not good, and that's not dependent on whether or not this thing is for me. And again, I'll say it for the last time, there are things that I love. I love so much. I enjoy so much, and I know that they're shit. And I will give those things an objective rating of a 3 or a 4 out of 10, a 2 out of 10, and I'll understand, man, I like this because of X, Y, and Z, but it wasn't that good of a movie. It wasn't that good of a movie. This isn't going to change anybody's lives. So that's about it. That's all I really wanted to get across. This is not an argument against a show. It is not an argument to support a show being good. You can say you like a show and the show is bad. Oh, crazy idea, right, people? Crazy idea. You can like a show and say that you enjoy this thing, but you cannot then go attack everybody who attacks this show like a stan, like a little simp for a TV show, as if the thing that you're defending is actually good. And most recently, I'll end it with this, the thing that, sparked this. Because I get this so many times, people saying this, people commenting this, people replying to my critiques with this. And I saw it on somebody else's comment for this. And it's from the manhwa omniscient reader's viewpoint. And if you watch, or if you read manhwa is basically colored in manga. And manga is basically comic books, which come before animes. And manhwa is for Koreans, and manga is for Japanese. Anyway. It was against this manhwa, and if you know about manhwa, you know that most of it is trash. Like, most of what we get in manhwa is slop, and the really good things, they end within 100 episodes. Kind of like anime. And one of the ones that has continued going is omniscient reader's viewpoint. And this is good, right? It's okay. For the genre, it's pretty good. It had a good story, at least from the outset. But there was so much plot armor in place. There was so much that would only happen here and within a story where this main character is obviously protected from the arms and the hands of causality. I'm going to spoil it a little bit. It's not too much of a spoil, but spoil it a little bit. This dude dies so many times, and he comes back. And every time, the people who are around him act like he's actually dead, and they fake his death, and they act like this is an emotional moment when it's not. And the whole show, after the second time of that happening, loses its emotional weight, because every time the main character dies or somebody dies, they're probably gonna come back. Like, there is no weight. There is nothing actually at risk. It seems as if there is just a perfect course of action. It's a completely linear game where there's no actual things at risk, and our boy's gonna keep dying but somehow keep coming back. And that makes the show pretty bad. So I was reading a review, somebody, saying this about the show, or talking about the show, and just saying that they don't like XYZ about the show. Some of the points valid, some of them not. And then, of course, the first comment. Bro, this isn't really that type of onward, bro. It's, if you're looking for that at some point in the story, it's probably not for you. Shut up, bro. Like, it's probably not for you. That's not a thing. And maybe I'm man, this video's going on for much longer than I expected. But maybe I'm, an exception in this regard, right? I don't have to like something in order to go watch it and enjoy the execution behind that thing. Okay, I don't like horror movies. I appreciated Obsession. Obsession was a good horror movie. Backrooms was very mid. It was a very mid movie collectively. I don't feel like it executed upon the idea of making the Backrooms this extremely scary place. I feel like only half of the movie was actually a horror movie. Only half of the movie we felt like something was up and bad. It just felt off, right? Obsession, though, even though I don't like horror movies, was a great movie. 8.5 out of 10, objective rating, and for me, a 7 or whatever, or probably an 8 also. It is a thing that transcends its genre and makes me enjoy it, even though I don't like horror movies like that. And there are just many things like this, right, where I've watched and I've enjoyed, and it's not because I personally, this is my type of story. Oh man, this is my type of thing. I love this thing. Like superhero movies. Fantastic Four. It was not a good movie. I'm sorry. It was not a good movie. And there are other superhero movies, and I don't like superhero movies like talking about, but there are other superhero movies that get a high rating, and I will, like them too, maybe, but my personal rating will be lower than the rating that I'll give the film collectively. And I have to admit, though, that the film executed upon its ideas, and the film is good, but I personally just don't like it. I personally just don't enjoy it. I don't like the genre, but I can respect the movie, and I can respect the fact that somebody created this thing and they had great competency in putting it together. So yeah, that's it. I'm done yapping. I just wanted to tell somebody this, because that annoys me so much. It annoys me so much. It is such a low IQ argument. Oh, yeah, bro. Oh, I hear you, man. But this probably just isn't the show for you. This isn't the show for you. Just because it's not for me doesn't mean I can't have an opinion on it. Doesn't mean that I can say whether or not something's good. Anyway, that is all. Goodbye.